Hello, how's it going? This is for those who might have missed class or need to make up their notes or just need a review for Monday, 9/28, September the 28th. We only did two things today. We actually completed one thing and started another one. We didn't quite get finished with it. What you need to do is go to 9/28 warm up, click on that, four questions, boom, you're done. It's real simple. It won't take you that long at all. And then open up your representative government notes, and they'll look like this when they're finished. But for now, um, we're just going to go ahead and go through the lesson. So what I'm going to do is towards the end of the video, I'll have this open for you so you can pause the video and catch up with your notes. But for right now, I'm just going to go through the actual lesson. That way, you can just go straight into the notes whenever you are ready. So we're talking about representative government again, and remember that is such a huge, huge, huge key term in our tests and our quizzes, and even in the STAR test. Representative government, self-government, or even legislatures or assemblies, anything that sounds like representative government or assemblies or legislatures, self-government or assemblies or legislature. Huge, huge, huge keywords that we need to look for. So what is representative government? Basically, it's a government made up of people that were chosen by the people of their town to represent their beliefs. So let's say that right here in this little thing here, Jamestown was a city, and so all these people voted for this representative here, and so they had a choice: peace or war. And so as you can see, 7 voted for peace, 1 voted for war, and so that representative's responsibility is to represent their beliefs. So even though he might have been this person with war, what doesn't matter because he has to vote peace. He is representing them. And the reason why is because, like we said last week, the colonists had distance from Great Britain. Basically, the king really doesn't care what they're doing so long as they are expanding his empires and throwing some money his way. Govern yourselves, be done with it. And yeah, that's all we need to do. Last week we talked about these huge, huge forms of representative government. The first one, and we're going out of order in the slide here, Virginia House of Burgesses. Look at this. It says it is the first representative legislature, and that's just a fancy word. A lot of students are afraid of that word. Legislature just means group. Okay, and it was the first representative government in the colonies. Then you had the Mayflower Compact by the Pilgrims, another form of self-government or representative government. In the Fundamental Orders, Connecticut, what makes that one a little bit different than the other ones is that it was a constitution, just like ours. So it was the first written constitution in the colonies. And then you got their political traditions. So they brought over with them from England their traditional, their rights as Englishmen. One of them was started in 1215 called the Magna Carta. Basically meant that the king was not all powerful. He was not above the law. And so whatever he did, he had to make sure that he followed the law when he was doing it. And they brought that over. Their representatives were still accountable. In other words, they had to obey the law. And then you had this thing called Parliament. That's just a fancy word for representatives. So they had representatives in England. They just brought it over here to the New World, and they kind of did it their own way. The king had nothing to do with it. And then the English Bill of Rights are exactly that. They promised them their rights. It's not too terribly big of a deal to do. And then you had the First Great Awakening. Anytime you see a Great Awakening, think of 2 R words: religious and revival. Then the first one happened because there's preachers like Jonathan Edwards. He preached to crowds. He taught them, read the Bible, um, ask for forgiveness of your sins, the things that you do wrong. But the biggest thing that he did was he said that in God's eyes, all men are equal in his eyes. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how much property you own, how big your house is, how many friends you got. When it comes to God, you're all equal in his eyes. And so yeah. Okay, so we're pretty much done with that. Let's go with the notes here. All you need to do is hit pause, and then go ahead and write all that in. And then I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and again hit pause and go ahead and put all that in. Tomorrow we will finish the notes here, down here, and we should be good to go. So make sure, number one, you turn in a warm up. Number two, that you start the notes. Do not turn in the notes. But pretty simple day. Hope y'all had a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.